This is a presentation on the Battle of Antietam that occurred in September 17, 1862, also known as the bloodiest single day in American military history, created and presented by David Golphin. A little bit of background on the event. This event took place during the Maryland campaign when Confederate General Robert E. Lee invaded the North. The fight happened along Antietam Creek near Sharpsburg. It's also known as the deadliest one-day battle of the Civil War. After some victories in the summer of 1862, General Robert Lee planned to bring the war onto Northern soil. Lee hoped to shift the focus of the war away from the South, potentially influence Northern politics, and sway European powers to recognize the Confederacy. Maryland was a border state with divided loyalties. Lee believed its citizens might support the Confederacy. The Confederate Army crossed into Maryland on September 4, 1862. Union Commander General George B. McClellan pursued Lee slowly, trying to reorganize and strengthen his forces. McClellan gained a major advantage when Union soldiers discovered Lee's Special Order 191 battle plans that revealed the Confederate Army was divided. The forces and stakes. On September 17, 1862, both armies met near Sharpsburg, also known as Antietam Creek. The Union, which roughly had 53,632 people engaged, and the Confederate, around 30,646 people engaged. This was the first major Army level battle on Union soil in the Eastern Theater. The outcome would influence not just military control but also political and diplomatic ramifications. Union success could deter foreign recognition of the Confederacy, strengthen Northern morale, and give leverage to issue emancipation measures. The Union, also known as the Army of the Potomac, had Commander Major General George B. McClellan. The strength they had roughly around 75,090 people on the field, and only about 53,000 people actually engaged. The Confederacy, also known as Army of Northern Virginia, had Commander General Robert E. Lee. Strength around 38,000 to 40,000 people available, and over 30,000 people engaged. The battle in the morning phase. At dawn on September 17th, Union forces under Joseph Hooker assaulted the far Confederate left, targeting positions held by Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson near a cornfield, later known as Miller's Cornfield. The fight there was brutal. Initially, Union troops pushed Confederate forces back, but Confederate reinforcements under Jackson counterattacked and forced Union troops back. Soon after, Union reinforcements under Joseph K. Mansfield attacked, making some gains, but Mansfield was mortally wounded in the process. The battle, Midday and Sunken Road, also known as Bloody Lane. A worn-down farm lane had sunken into the earth, naturally forming a trench-like defensive position. Confederates under D.H. Hill used this road as a strong defensive line. Union General William French's division advanced against the lane around 9:30 a.m. After hours of intense musket fire at close range, Union troops eventually broke through when they gained the high ground, firing downward into the lane. The sunken road became choked with bodies. Reporters called it the Bloody Lane. Union forces had a chance to split Lee's army in half at this point, but confusion and lack of coordination prevented a successful follow-through. The battle, afternoon and right flank, Burnside Bridge. Meanwhile, on the Confederate right flank, Union troops under Ambrose Burnside attempted to cross Burnside Bridge over Antietam Creek, which was a critical crossing. The crossing was held for hours by a small Confederate force, also known as sharpshooters, turning the bridge area into a deadly bottleneck. Around 1 p.m., the Union forces managed to take the bridge and gain high ground east of Sharpsburg. However, a timely arrival by reinforcements for the Confederates, most notably a division of the A.P. Hill, which had marched from Harper's Ferry, launched a counterattack. This counterattack crushed Burnside's advance and prevented a Union breakthrough to Sharpsburg. Casualties, aftermath, and significance. The battle resulted in staggering casualties, about 23,000 soldiers killed, wounded, or missing, making September 17th the deadliest single day in American military history. Though both sides held ground that night, the Confederate Army under Lee withdrew across the Potomac River the next day, which was September 18th, ending its first invasion of the North. The result is often described as a tactical draw but a strategic victory for the Union. It halted Lee's invasion and provided a boost to Northern morale and political standing. Importantly, the victory gave President Abraham Lincoln the confidence he needed to issue the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, changing the character and goals of the war. The human experience, a long, bloody fight. The battle began at dawn and lasted approximately 12 hours with waves of musket and cannon fire sweeping across fields, roads, woodlots, and bridges. Heavy fighting across locations such as the cornfield, sunken road, woods, and near the bridge left the landscape devastated. Thousands rooted the dead, many lying in open fields for hours. The scale of suffering shocked contemporaries and later generations. The battle remained a solemn reminder of the human cost of war, the legacy, and why it matters. The Battle of Antietam demonstrated that the Union Army could stand against the Confederate forces on Northern soil, boosting Northern morale and undermining Confederate hopes of foreign recognition. The political ripple effect. Victory at, Ant- Victory at Antietam gave President Lincoln the opportunity to frame the war as not only a fight for Union, but also a fight against slavery, setting the stage for the Emancipation Proclamation. The battle today is preserved at the Antietam National Battlefield, a place of memory, education, and reflection on the cost of civil war, a long, bloody fight. The intensity, sacrifice, and human cost of Antietam remain powerful lessons about war, leadership, and the struggle for freedom. Thank you for your time.